producer, the way they hit supervisor, the way you guys are going to hit world team, whatever that is, wherever you're going for. It's all, name of the game is documented volume. So your customers, so those of you who are working out in nutrition clubs, like whatever it is, the second that you guys make a sale, make sure that you receipt it, because and your upline and your sponsor, they're not going to make it about them, but I would invite you guys to think about it this way. So when you don't receipt something, like if you sell somebody some product and you go, like if you go to Walmart, for example, or you go to Meijer, or you go to whatever restaurant you want to go to, all of those restaurants and grocery stores, they give you receipts anyway, right? It's the same exact thing. Now we're just giving our customers receipts. And so the cool thing is now the company is going to be able to say, like, all right, cool, here are all our receipts. What are we actually selling? So, all right, cool. Well, we're selling a bunch of pralines and cream. When it comes back, whoop, whoop. When it comes back, so we'll keep it on stock because we're selling more than that, or more of that than anything else. But at the same time, when you guys don't receipt that, it doesn't count as documented volume. So not only are you going to get the credit for what you guys are doing, but you're also, and like you might not be thinking of it this way and like mean to do it, but your sponsor will also be affected by you not documenting it as well. Now, they're not going to go out and be like, I'm never going to be like if I was Dave England's sponsor, like, Dave, you didn't document your slips. You're screwing up my business. Like, I'm not going to language it like that, but that's just kind of, if I'm not documenting anything, like I'm doing myself and my sponsor, a disservice. So now, some of you might be working out of clubs. Some of you might have some inventory. And I learned this yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it super quick. When you make an order on your My Herbalife site and you click retail inventory, from here on out, the name of the game is you're going to have a threshold of how much you can document before it doesn't count anymore. Now, like if it freaks you out, like I'm going somewhere with this. So if at the beginning of the month, because you guys are going to want to avoid placing massive retail inventory orders towards the end of the month, unless it's absolutely necessary. Like, for example, one of our newer girls who's going to be working our shake bar, she needs her products because she's starting next week, so she placed her club order the other night. But if you can avoid it, please do, and then wait until the beginning of the month so that you have all of the rest of that month to document what you need. But you are going to have a retail inventory threshold of how much you can document up to that point of the month. So, for example, at the beginning of the month, you order 800 volume points to your retail inventory. And let's just say, and I'm just speaking to what I know, like if you've got a bunch of like clients, you're not working out of the club, this applies to you too. I'm just speaking to what I know. So if you're working out of the club and you document up to 800 volume points by the 13th of the month, but you keep up with your consumptions, maybe you've documented 900 volume points, but only 800 of it is going to show up in your unaudited documented volume. So the next time that you go place a retail inventory order, that extra 100 volume points that might have just been sitting there in limbo, then it'll automatically get factored into your documented volume, if that makes sense. I was freaking out yesterday because I was like, I know I documented 200 volume points. It's not showing up, but I didn't realize that I had already crossed that threshold that I had of 1,400 volume points for the club. And I was like, oh, I should have 1,700 documented volume points from just this area this month, and it wasn't showing up, but I had crossed over that threshold. Once I placed my order to replenish the inventory that I needed, then it all counted towards my documented volume. So like I was saying, guys, like if that confused you like at all, please just feel free to call 866-866-4744. I was on the phone with them for a long time trying to figure that out, and so the quicker we can relay that to you, the better. But at the end of the day, just watching what you guys are doing towards the end of the month and trying to avoid the best way that you guys can, unless it's absolutely necessary, placing massive retail order or retail inventory orders or fairly large ones that you're not going to be able to go back and document. Or you might be able to. I'm not sure. I might need a little bit more clarity on that. But avoiding most of that going undocumented towards the end of the month. So I hope that landed or like cleared some things up for you guys. Like I said, the extravaganza promotions double volume this month. So whatever you got to do, hustle, 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 hit those streets. And then I can't wait to see you guys down there in the closer seats. So I'm going to pass it back over to KB.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me? My computer is like freezing up on me. I think it's overheating from all this fire that Sean's spitting over here. I can't tell if you guys can hear me or not because it's like moving in segments right now. We good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. You guys are all frozen on my screen, but as long as you can hear me, we're good. So, going, like Sean was saying, just to reiterate, going into Extravaganza, make sure you get your tickets ahead of time so you get the discount. And then this month, double volume up to 5K. So document everything. Only documented volume counts now for any kind of promotions, anything that we have going on, any kind of royalties as a distributor to increase your discount. If you're brand new, if you're a senior consultant, whatever you are, the only way to increase your discount is documented volume. So personal orders aren't going to help you increase your discount. So just focusing on that, the 5 to 7 is huge. So, hitting on the distributor action plan, if you guys know what that is, the DAP program, it's called DAP. I've actually been selected by corporate, by one of the corporate reps and corporate to be in a pilot group that's covering the distributor action plan. And we're actually running a bunch of numbers and doing a lot of testing on it. And, today I was fortunate to be on a call. Super grateful for the opportunity. And it's with like a few other leaders in the region. And we actually had some people from Canada on the call today that were sharing with us. And because of the distributor action plan, what's possible is, this is not typical, but it's possible, definitely not typical. You guys saw Stefan Graziani at LDW in Detroit, and he's like real close to hitting Founders Circle. Well, he's got a guy that's frontline to him, and this guy came in, he's in Canada, first year and a half in the business, he hit Mill Team. And he got to Mill Team real fast. Business started to go backwards a little bit. And then they actually really started working the distributor action plan. And what that did for him was the first month he ran a promotion for the people on his team. And he had 28 people do over 500 volume points and hit their first cut of the distributor action plan. 28 people doing over 500 volume points that are non-supervisors. And they hit their first cut of Mill 7500. Second month, he did another promotion for his team. 23 people hit their first or second cut of the 500 volume points. And they smashed their second cut. And the third month, he got busy, kind of took his foot off the gas, wasn't focusing as much on it. He didn't run a promotion the third month. They missed their third cut of Mill 7500. So what had happened was he slipped in reverse a little bit, started focusing on it again, and where they're at right now, I believe she said earlier, he's in his third cut of President's Team right now. So Stefan Graziani is super close to hitting Founder Circle, which is really cool because, we got to learn from the best at Extravaganza and, at LDW. And, to be a part of this group and to see all these numbers, I'm going to bring it to like the leadership group on some of the things that we're running, some of the reports that they show us, how to track all this stuff and figure out ways that we can really implement it and help us grow. So I'm super excited for that, super grateful. And because of what this whole organization has done, I get to be a part of that group. So I'm grateful for all of you guys. And then if you guys have any questions, we're going to do a little Q&A section. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let those rip. And the leadership group and like the tab team will try to answer as best as they can. So go ahead and let it rip.
Hey, KB, can you hit on the Telegram chats and what we're doing with them with posting the checks, posting new clients to keep the group inspired and show vision?
Yeah. So, you guys might have noticed if you're in the Telegram chat and the distributor chat last week, we were speaking as with our leadership group to try to help inspire people and to show what's possible. Like we're all just normal people. There's nothing, abnormal about me. I had a regular job. I went to school, went to college for a little bit. I stopped going to college, and now I've been able to get to the tab team. And just like everybody else, we're just regular people. So we wanted to help inspire people by like posting our checks in the Telegram chat. And we want like everybody to show like their growth throughout, all the months and the years that they're doing this. So whether it's like your first check and it's like $30, or, if it's Jay posting a check for $18,000, like we want to see all these checks. Obviously that's not typical, but it's possible. Jay works really hard, and he does a lot for us, and we're super grateful. And we want to see that kind of stuff. So feel free to share that stuff when you have new clients. Like if it's your first client, like just take take one of their pictures or their order, that shows like their volume on it, whatever. Put like whatever number client it is. So if it's your first client of the month that you get, your first new client, put a number 1 on it. So you see some of us doing that. If it's your 5th one, put a number 5 on it. So it's like keeping us on track, keeping us motivated and inspired to keep getting new clients, to keep showing, the documented volume that we're getting, and to keep us growing as a group. My computer's still freezing, so I don't know if you guys are seeing me or hearing me right now.
We heard you.
Cool. So if you guys have any questions about like the Telegram chats, the distributor action plan, extravaganza, whatever it is, clubs, whatever it is, feel free to ask. I don't know if you have anything else on that, Mike or Sean or Steven. Just feel free to let it go.
Yeah, I think just really quick, sorry guys if there's background noise. I think the biggest thing with the Telegram chat, and it's something that I had to get real with myself on, and Carly and I chatted about it, was just really taking ownership over the chats, and like it's your own team. Like I know some of us are new, some of us been in for 5 years, but if you take it, take ownership of it and say, okay, this is mine. I'm gonna pour everything I have into it, and this is what I'm gonna get out of it. Like here's the thing: if you give to the group, the group gives back to you. And something happens when you decide to play full out. They start to play full out for you, and you create this thing called natural momentum. And the funny thing is when one person goes through this momentum stage, it inspires the rest of the group. And then this is where President's Team happens. Like I'm thinking back to last year when we're in third cut of President's Team and going through the cuts with Jay, the amount of momentum that happened in the chats and the momentum that was happening within the group lifted us all up, and there was a bunch of us changing pins, right? So all it takes is just a little bit to get the ball rolling. But let's face it, you guys, we're on social media all day anyways. So why not pour the same amount of time you would pour into Instagram into the chat? It's just ownership and running your business like a CEO and doing the things that's necessary to sustain the growth and make it happen. So, Jay, I don't know if you have anything on that, but that's all I got.
Yeah, so thank you, Mike and KB and Sean. This is really good stuff. So guys, like with what they're speaking to, here's the thing. So for you guys that were in Cleveland for the STS a couple weekends ago with Pyme, you guys saw the growth. You guys heard it. We had some good stuff from Johan and Pyme. Did we post that video yet? The Q&A? You do? Okay. So we have the Q&A recorded, you guys, so that'll be posted. But I messaged over in the Telegram chat a video on YouTube that you guys will want to watch. And I talked about in that quick 5 or 10 minute clip, context around content. And it's just kind of being present to understanding that people build their businesses certain ways, and you guys are going to want to understand the context of the conversation, so that you guys can look at how does it relate to you guys. So for example, if somebody comes in from LA and they're speaking about Fit Club and how their business is building through Fit Club, and you're David and Tiffany England and you've just committed to running nutrition clubs, I do not suggest you say, okay, Fit Club's the way to go. I'm quitting Nutrition Club. And then you go start Fit Club. Like, this is the death to your guys' business. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. So the death to your business is when, because you guys got to understand this, right? Like, most businesses, if you talk about like marketing or business 101, most businesses, it takes 5 years to see a profit, at least 5 years to see a profit. This is why I loved Herbalife. And this is why, I mean, you guys, like, listen, like, some of you guys, you might not be like the business person, but it's important you guys understand simple basic business concepts, right? Like profit and loss, like what am I buying into and what is my profit? You guys got to understand this. Let's call it $100 investment to start up your own business. You can make that $100 back today. This is why I got so excited about the business. I invested, at the time it was $70 into my distributorship, and I made $864 that night. That's a pretty good return on your investment as a brand new distributor, like not knowing anything, right? So my point in saying all this, though, is it's going to take time for whatever methods you're choosing to use to build your business. Fit Club, Nutrition Club, social media, weight loss challenges, shake parties, cardio drumming, like whatever methods you're choosing to use to build your business. And I would also empower you to pick 2 or 3. Like, let social media feed your Nutrition Club. Let your Nutrition Club feed your social media. Let your cardio drumming feed Fit Club. Let Fit Club feed cardio drumming. Let it feed your body transformation challenges, like whatever. But you got to have your 2 or 3 that you're going to master and that you can duplicate. But that's going to take time. So I don't want you guys to pull out of whatever method you're choosing to use before you allow for it to give you that return on your investment of your time to run that method. Okay. Like Piney talked about, she had 3 people at her first Fit Club. And if any of you guys follow her on Instagram or you guys follow Rebelsi, I want you guys to go on and check it out tonight. They had like 400 something people at their Fit Club. I think it was epic. And I think about KB and Mike and Sean on the beach in Grand Haven, and there was like 2 people, and then there was like 11 people, and then there was like 30 people, and then they had 100 something people, and all of that has fed into 3 going into 4 and 5 nutrition clubs. So if they would have stopped doing that, or if they would have just started cardio drumming and stopped Fit Club, or if they would have just started working out of the office and doing weight loss challenges and stopped Fit Club, then I would probably say that they wouldn't be where they're at today with a few TAB team members, a couple Active World team members, and more coming. Because they're just now, listen and pull this all together for yourselves. If it takes most businesses 5 years to really come into the growth stage of their business, and Mike is just now coming into 5 years, and it's really probably 4 years because first year he was Miami living and kind of in and kind of out, then what's going to happen coming into this next 5th year, and what's going to happen coming into these next 5 years from there? It's called President's Team, K's, and Diamonds. That's what's going to happen. And I'm using Mike as just one example. It's the same thing for everybody on this call. And some of you guys, most of you are already growing a serious business, and you're 6 months in, 1 year in, 2 years in. So having that, again, like understanding around it. But all of that I'm sharing with you guys to lead into some of the conversations that I had with Piney, because it got me super present to something. And I want you guys to kind of do this for yourselves throughout the week. And, you know, like even at the gym or at the airport or whatever. And I was at the airport on Sunday and I was doing this. I want you guys to watch people throughout the day and see what they're doing throughout their days. And just even look at people in the gym, okay? And I can almost guarantee you that 80% of what they're involved in is this. All day, every day, 24/7. And if you guys are paying attention to what Facebook is doing, and if you're paying attention to what Instagram's doing, even Snapchat, you guys have to understand that if you think that people are on their phones 24/7 today, I just invite you to understand and take a look at this, because I want you guys to think about this for your business. For the next 5 to 10 years, Facebook, you're going to be able to watch TV through Facebook. You basically already can. Okay? You're going to be able to watch TV on your phone. So this is what is causing more attention than any other device, even most computers. Because everything you can do on a computer, for the most part, you can do on your phone now. So they're on this more than anything. And so if that's the case, then this is why we want to make sure that we're making the push in some sort of community that we can bring to this. Like, the community that we can bring to this is going to be, and you guys choose what you guys want it to be, but we've decided as a leadership body, it's Telegram, but it's going to be Facebook or Telegram, okay? So I'm sharing this with you guys because here's the thing. The guys who have been around for the last few years when we had our Facebook page, change is constant and everybody hates change, if you guys think about it. This is why some of your friends want the old you back, because you changed and they don't like change, but change is all there is. Okay, so I just think about this, and it's a weird analogy, and I think I want you guys to consider it. He's officially muted for the rest of his Zoom career. Okay, so listen, it's a weird analogy, but I want you guys to consider this. You're a baby. You're 1 year old. Wham, 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 wham. And you go number 2 in your diaper. And mom says, I don't like change. I'm not changing that diaper. And you sit in your diaper until you're old enough to change it yourself. 5 years old. How does that look for your health and for your general well-being? It doesn't work. And I hope that grosses you guys out. And the reason why I say that is because some of us might be sitting in our diaper for 4 years and not changing our diaper. And change for that diaper and for that 1 year old version of yourself is actually very good. It's actually very healthy, and it's actually very clean, and it's going to allow you to go out and play on the playground more and go jump around on your dog and go do whatever else you do. So my point of sharing that is don't sit in your diaper for 4 years. Change something. So the Telegram chat and what we're going to do in there for the next year, 2 years, and I don't know what's going to come, and I don't know what changes are going to happen, but that is what is right now, and the people who are going to play in that game are going to win the most. Does it help you? Does it help you if your new distributor sees one of the other distributors on our team post in 1 month that they had 14 new clients? Does it help your newer distributor to see that one of our other distributors got 4 new distributors that month? Does it help your distributor who's a stay-at-home or who is a mom working and has a 1.5-year-old see that Carly, 1.5-year-old, also has a part-time job, made $5,000 last month? Does that help? And if you guys can answer yes to any of those questions, then my question would be, then why wouldn't you want to play full out and utilize the tool that can help you guys grow as efficient and as effective as possible? It's all about compressing time frames. Listen, you guys, I'm all about hard work. Totally. And I think I get this a lot from, I got this a lot from Tim, because Tim's the same way, but I'm all about hard work. But if I can do the same amount of work, and the one piece of work that I'm doing can bring me 10 times the results as the other work that I'm doing, then that's what I want to do. It's like, okay, if I can do the same amount of work and I get to Prez team in 4 years or a Get team in 4 years, which one do you want? So utilizing Telegram for yourselves. And being active in that. Guys, look, like, listen, I can post my check and Mike can post his check. Joe can post his. Carly and Joe can post their new clients. But quite honestly, like, if I don't see how well Kira's doing right now, if I don't see how well KB's doing right now, if I don't see like what's happening for Deja as a brand new distributor, if I don't see what's happening for these people, it's not getting the most out of our chat. And this is new, so this is different. And so I'm also like, as someone who's looking at it from like 30 feet above, I'm patient towards it. But I have to tell you guys, like, get out of your way of thinking about you right now. If you have to. You can think about you and you can ask yourself, does this help me? Like, okay, guys, the reason why I can tell you guys 100%, the reason why I'm here right now is because Tim showed me his $40,000 checks. Guys, my dad was making that much money. My mom was poor. My dad was making that much money. They're divorced. I lived on both sides of the world my whole life. Broke, poor, couldn't pay for the ceiling leaking until I got my check in 2 weeks. That's what my mom used to have to do. And then my dad, working his tail off, found his opportunity and built something from it for himself from the same situation. But I grew up in both worlds, so I saw both of them. So I needed to see that. So Tim showing me his $40,000, his lifestyle, and what got me was the freedom that he didn't come to the nutrition club every day in a suit and tie like my dad had to. And he had freedom and he seemed to be happy. And then the $40,000 check, that's what got me. Different things are going to get different people. Rachel is passionate about teaching. She's going to teach probably the rest of her life. She's also a sick Herbalife health coach. We need people like Rachel to show other people like Rachel, I'm a teacher, I love my life, and I make this much money from Herbalife, or this is why I love Herbalife. Then we also need the people who, like Mike, was making six figures, and that's what he wanted, and he was driving Lamborghinis and Aston Martins. He needs to see that you can make the same money, and the quality of the money might be a little bit better here from Herbalife, and he needs to see that. This is the key to all of you guys changing your pins besides the basics. This is the key to all of you guys growing your Herbalife business besides the basics. You guys want to play 25%, you're going to get 25% results. You guys want to play 50%, you're going to get 50% results. If you guys want to know why Pyme is getting literally 100% results, but it's not just 100% results. You guys have to follow me on this, and we're going to wrap up the call. So, okay, Pyme's playing at 100%. Johan's playing at 100%. Alex is playing at 100%. When that happens, when they're all playing at 100%, when they're all playing full out, that's when you see momentum. When you guys see steady and stable and kind of like no growth, but you're not going backwards, but there's no growth, it's because everybody's doing the bare minimum. And when everybody's doing the bare minimum, oh, okay, like, congratulations. Like, the only time you're present in the Telegram chat, congratulations. Or the only time you do something at the STS is when you go up on stage for your marketing plan recognition. Or the only time that you cheer at the STS is for your new client. Or the only time that you contribute at the STS is when you know that your favorite speaker is coming and you want to be a speaker liaison for that person. Or do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, the only time that you really show up to the nutrition club is when your mentor or your sponsor is going to show up and you want to put on a show for when your mentor shows up. But that's not really who you are. You're just putting on a show to act like you do this hard or you do that hard or whatever. If you guys can get out of that, and I'm speaking to all of us as a unit because I've seen what can happen, but if you guys see this in both areas, you guys probably have, because I know some of you guys do, you have your client chats and you're 100 out of 100 on your client chat. Like, you crush it. Every day you post your meal, or every day you post your motivation, or every day you post your workout, every day. And what can happen for all of us as a distributor base, because here's what you guys got to understand. What you can do for your customers is money today. Follow me on this. What you can do for your customers is money today. Meaning, okay, what you do in the Telegram chat, you just paid yourself today for your customer chat. Because that customer, right, they pay you up front. You maybe profit $50, $100, $200 to coach them through the month. I love the Telegram chats, and I love how we can utilize social media, because just by living our life, drinking our shake, eating our meal, showing our workout, we're living our life, and we're sharing it on social media and on Telegram. And so our customers are basically living with us, even though they're not with us, but they're able to be inspired. Like, they're able to be motivated. I watch some of your guys' Instagram stuff because I'm inspired. Like, I pick up new workouts. Like, I watch Sean jump 20 feet on a box, and I'm like, that's dope. I'm going to go do my squats today. Or, like, I watch Sarah do some of her HIIT training. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that for my HIIT workout. Or, like, I watch, like, Steven show up like Superman with a six-pack. I'm like, damn, I kind of want to have like an 8-pack right now. So this is even to me, this is inspiration. Like, this is what keeps me going. So if that's what keeps me going, then what can it do for your customer who's maybe not even in the same like place as I am, doing this for 5 years? Maybe they're just getting started. How much do they need? And how much motivation can you give them? And how much inspiration can you give them? But so this is what I'm saying. So you get paid immediately by what you can do for your customer through your Telegram, through your social media. I post on social media for new customers, yes. But I post on social media because I know that my customers, and I know that maybe some of you guys are watching my social media. And so I know that I'm being an example through what is on my social media. But why it connects is because that's who I am. That's not a show. It's not a front. Like, that is who I am. So as long as you guys are doing those things, that's going to help you. Now the second piece of it is what you can do to get paid recording. I got that, but in a sense, forever. Like, okay, I'm doing this for my customers. I'm getting paid now, but what can I do to get paid forever? Guys, this is why I show up powerfully as possible every call, because there's 52 people here who I can, if I drop one piece of something, if one of you guys get this and you can create a forever business for yourself, you'll be paid forever. And in turn, I'll be paid forever. This is not like I work 1 hour, I get paid for that 1 hour. I work 1 hour, I get paid for that 1 hour. I work 1 hour, I get paid for 1 hour. This is, I put in however much time you want to say you put in. Maybe it's 16 hours a day, every day for 5 years. And then you don't have to work like that the rest of your life, but you probably will because it's passion. But you don't have to, so you have more freedom and flexibility because you did that up front. Like, this is what they say, like, live like most won't, or do what most won't so you can live like most can't. This is that thing. This is what that is. Like, this is not like, okay, I'm going to work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday for the rest of my life so that I can go out on Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I can take a 1-week vacation a year that I plan and work for my whole entire 365 days to take a 7-day vacation. I'm not hating on that, but that's just one way of living. The other way of living is to say you take however much you want to do, and everybody's going to want different things out of this, but you could say, I'm going to put in this much time up front, and I'm going to become this valuable to the marketplace. And I'm going to add this much value to people that my value can grow so much that, like Steven and I were figuring this out, you guys, I basically make, if I work 8 hours a day, I make $100 an hour is what it came to. So that value of like what I've tried to work on and invest on, and quite honestly, you guys, that's a reflection of Herbalife. If I went to go try and do that somewhere else, I might be successful, but it's because of the products, and it's because of the marketing plan, and it's because of the leadership at every training, and it's because of my mentors, and it's because of the opportunity that's possible. But I've also been at $100 an hour for the last like 2 years. And so that's why I'm analyzing, okay, what can I change? Like, how can I get better? And like, what can I do? And so like, that's why I'm like looking at where can I invest my time more wisely to go to work to take it to $500 an hour or $1,000 an hour. Now, again, you guys lay out for you guys what that is that you guys want. But this is all being framed up to land this point, which is you get paid immediately for what you do with the customer. You get paid delayed, but usually much larger for what you do for your organization. Now, the key that you guys have to understand is that it starts with the customers. It always starts with the customer. I can almost guarantee you guys that probably 70% of you guys started as a customer before you said, I want to be a distributor. So it starts with what you're doing for the customer. You can't just forget about the customer. But what you can do then on the back end for your distributor base is what will pay you more. So for example, I get 5 customers this month, or I get 10 customers this month. Let's say I profit $100 for each customer. I make $1,000. I'm 50%, okay? Make $1,000. Because of what I did with distributors from my royalties and my production bonus, let's call it $18,000. I got paid immediately for my customer, but I got paid delayed but larger for what I did with my distributors. That's what you guys want to be thinking about when we're talking about why do we want to be active in our distributor chat for Telegram. If you're active with your customer chat, it's like one person helping one person. If you're active in the distributor chat where there's 200 distributors, it's like helping 200 people help 5, 10, 15, 20 people a piece. And if you can grow that culture as a unit, then what happens is when you have your new distributor come in that chat, look, could any of you guys go start your own distributor chat? Yes, you could. But you're not going to have Carly and Mike's story in there. You're not going to have Joey's story in there. You're not going to have Caitlin's story in there. You're not going to have my story in there. So you guys could pull away and start your own chat or do your own thing with your own group. And there's a place for that. But when it comes to vision, inspiration, motivation, accountability, when it comes to that piece of it, there is no better place to do that at than where there's the most amount of distributors making the most amount of money, helping the most amount of customers, who've had the most amount of time in the business, who have the most amount of experience, who have the most amount of knowledge. There's no better place to do that at. You guys, the people who get around the leaders will grow the fastest. I guarantee it. If they don't, that's because they're not taking what they're seeing from the leader and implementing it. I can guarantee you guys, the people who are around the leaders the most will grow the fastest. Because they pick up on the little things that like you don't even necessarily see in a training, but you just hear it or you see it and you're watching it and you start to become it. You guys, you'll literally become the sum of the 5 people that you're around the most. You will. And you can fight it, like you can fight it as much as possible. But whether you know it or not, it's going to affect you. Because even if you're like this, okay, I'm around positive, I'm around like leadership, I'm around vision, and then like you're around negativity, and you're around someone tearing you down, you're around someone who's swearing all the time, or they're super negative. What you guys don't know is it just balanced out. So now you stay the same. I put myself in a place where I took myself from where this negativity was, and I knew that I wanted more, So I intentionally use these things called headphones, and I put them in my ears. And 24/7, I would listen to Jim Rohn. I would listen to Mark Hughes. I would listen to recordings of stuff like this. And I would, because I knew that my mind doesn't know the difference. My mind has no clue if I can touch the person or not. It just hears and soaks in what's coming in here. So when my dad would come home and be super negative after a bad day at work, or he was pissed off, or he would say, another one of those effing calls. And he would say this stuff to me. And I knew that I was doing it so I could take him to sit courtside at the NBA Finals. So I could take him to sit 50-yard line at the Ohio State game. I knew why I was doing it, but the same person I was doing it for would be negative about it. I put it in and I made sure I came up here and I didn't let it balance me out. I needed to come up here every day, all day. Where my vibe is at, that's what's going to match me 24/7. You guys got to intentionally create that. And the way we're going to intentionally create that, the best way that I know how to, is to leverage off of all of us in our Telegram chat for all of our distributors. And so when we're adding people in, listen, is it overwhelming? Fine. Whatever you say, it's overwhelming. Look, the drama at my grandma's house on Sunday night is overwhelming. I'm going to choose an overwhelming that's going to pay me a lot more on the return and put me in a lot better place for success. You don't need to respond to everything in the chat, okay? But I'm telling you, just be active on it. And this is what I can tell you guys by watching Pie Me. All day, 24/7, the way that you guys are on this thing anyway, and maybe you're just doing this. Maybe you're just doing this. You're scrolling. Okay? Maybe you guys are just scrolling on your Instagram. Like, instead of just scrolling on your Instagram, if you're not working on your Instagram, go spend a couple minutes in your Telegram and go ahead on the Fear Squad distributor chat and run through that and see like what announcements are being made, congratulate a couple people, post about your new client, and go from there. So what I want to leave you guys with as an example of what we want to do in the Telegram chat, like showing you guys this is exactly what we want to do. So every time you get a new client, and I want, like, literally, if we can have all of us doing this, the better. If we can have all of us posting, okay, new client number 1, boom, new client number 2, boom, new client number 3, boom. And that's for the month. So at the end of this month, we'll start all over. But if you can do this all the time and then be like, okay, new client number 15. Or for distributors, you could be like, okay, new distributor number 2. I have a goal of 5. This is the game that you guys can play. And this is how you can get a group like Pie Me's to go from this, you guys. She went from January of 2015, she was making $4,000 a month. January of 2016, she was making $40,000 a month. January or February of 2017, $90,000 a month. It's the compound effect of little things like using Telegram. It's the compound effect of everybody, every single day, inviting to Fit Club on Sunday. It's the compound effect of everybody in their group doing 10 invites a day to the Nutrition Club. Or the compound effect of everybody in their group every day being active on Telegram. The compound effect of everybody in their group every day posting 6 to 10 times a day, putting out 20 to 30 pieces of content on their Instagram story, engaging with 10 to 20 Instagram people every day. It's the compound effect of that over the last 3 years. It doesn't happen overnight. So now I gave you guys examples of different methods because maybe for you it's Fit Club, maybe for someone else it's social media, maybe for someone else it's challenges, maybe for someone else it's nutrition clubs. But what I know is if every one of you guys can master that method, anybody can cause that compound effect. Anybody can go from $0 right now to $1,000 a month in the next few months, to $5,000 a month in the next few months, to $10,000 a month in the next few months. I went from 0 to 5 to 15 with none of this stuff. No Telegram, an STS that was 4 hours away. Like I had 11 people with me at the STS until my first year of being in the business. Like we had no clue. We had no clue about social media. We had no body transformation challenges. So these are all things that like we have now, you guys. So it's a matter of like, it's a matter of two things, and it's on both ends. It's you becoming and stepping into your own in this business. It might look like your upline. It might look like your mentor. It might look something different. The way I'm building my business doesn't look like Tim's. The self-development behind it, the mindset behind it, the discipline and the intensity behind it, that's the same. That's the same. But I'm going to build it with a bunch of 20-somethings, and he's building it differently. So it's not always going to look like your uplines, but you can take certain things that you admire or that you think that you want to embody for how you choose to build your business, and then you can put it within who you are, and then that's you as an Herbalife distributor. It's not always going to all look the same. You might not be the person who wants to work in the nutrition club. You might not be the person who wants to do fit club. You might not be the person, quite frankly, who's going to do social media. Like you might be the business to business person in services and shake parties. But nobody can bring into that self-awareness other than you can. Now, I can give you guys examples. There's people who have a certain wherewithal and a certain understanding that can say, okay, like, look, okay, I got it. Like, okay, Kira, personality, social media, transformation, that's how she could kill her business, challenges, like whatever. Like I can do that. I can probably do that for you guys, but you're the only ones who know, like, okay, this is what I came from. This is what I like. This is how I want to build my business. And this is how I can build my business in a way that can duplicate and that can take me to the president's team or that can take me to the GET team. And I understand all of you guys are in different places in your life right now, but this is what I was talking to the leadership about last week. I said, I want you guys to identify for yourselves, how are you? How are you, Kevin? How are you, Caitlin? How are you, Steven? How are you, Dave? Like, how are you, Casper? How are you going to go to the president's team? I know how I did it, but how are you going to go to president's team? How are you going to go to your next pin? How are you going to go to GET team? Like, okay, and this is something that you guys can all look at for yourselves, and this will tell you guys what you need to work on in your business right now. How are you going to go to your next pin? Like, okay, like, Sarah, how are you going to go to World Team? Kira, how are you going to go to Active World Team? Joe, how are you going to go to 7.5 mil? Like Rachel, how are you going to go to Active World Team? Audrey and Martin, how are you guys going to go to Active World Team? If you guys can lay that out, okay, say, okay, I'm going to go to Active World Team by number one, I'm going to focus on getting 50 customers, 100 customers in my consumer group. I'm going to do that by running Fit Club, running Body Transformation Challenge, and plugging into the Nutrition Club. And from that, I'll have 3 or 4 coaches who all go ahead and help get their own 20 customers a piece. And by doing that, by helping 4 coaches get 20 customers a piece, they'll each do 2,500 volume points. That's my 10,000 royalty. By me having a 50 to 100 customers, that's going to help me do my 5K. And by doing that 4 months in a row, that's my Active World Team. Like, you guys literally, like, you need to lay out for yourself, how are you going to make your next pin happen? Like, I already laid out for myself how I'm going to make my next pin happen. 10 nutrition clubs, doing 10 to 20,000 volume points a month. Plus, I'm going to help my other lines do 5 to 10,000 volume points a month. And there's 15K or there's 20K. Now, that's like bigger, right? Like some of you guys, maybe you're at supervisor, you're at World Team, you're trying to figure out next thing. That's what you guys need to figure out. So in saying all of that, I just want to bring it back to, like, if we can all play full out, you guys, because the next 2, 5, 10 years, it's on here. This is what it's on. So the quicker that we can change our diaper, and the quicker that we can adapt, and the quicker that we can get on here and be active, and the quicker that we can play the game, even if it's like, yo, like, Like, I was listening to Gary Vee today. First thing he does when he wakes up, and there's different viewpoints on this, but first thing he does when he wakes up, spends a half an hour after he goes to the bathroom, showers, and eats. He's on his phone for a half hour, just catching up, responding to emails, catching up in his chats or his messages, whatever. Then he goes to work. Maybe for you guys, you do your workout, you do all this other stuff, and after you're up for 2 hours, you spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes on here responding to Telegram chats, responding to your messages, and then you just go throughout your day. Instead of scrolling on Instagram, hop on Telegram. Instead of doing things where you're spending your time. Look, if I can give you guys, if you just walk away with one nugget tonight, am I spending or am I investing my time? All the time. Am I spending or investing my time? Chris Brown, look, I love C Breezy. I love him. Spending time. Jim Rohn, investing time. Big Sean, I'm spending time. Big Eric Thomas, I'm investing my time. Now, I'm not saying like there's not balance and there's not moderation, or I'm not saying that, right? Like, but I'm just saying like choose wisely when you're doing those things. When you're driving in the car, you're thinking the whole time. So play self-development and then play music when you're in the gym when you need to pick you up for the workout. Like start to, you guys, I'm telling you guys, this is the 3%. This is what the 5% do. This is not what your friend's going to do that you – guys, I was at a bachelor party this weekend. Guys I haven't seen in 5 years. I'm grateful. I'm grateful I'm not the same after 5 years. I'm grateful that my brother is not the same after 5 years. And that dude was as crazy as any of these guys. But he's not the same. He took his crazy and he's like crazy, passionate, hard work ethic. He took the same energy and put it into something like Herbalife. The same energy that these other guys are wasting on chasing girls or getting hammered or fighting or talking crap about football. Like, it's the same. It's energy is energy. It's where they're putting their energy. Same exact thing. Spend versus invest. So that's what I want you guys to walk away with. Can you guys invest your time into Telegram? Can you invest your time in your business? Can you invest your time into growing yourself and then growing your distributor base? And I'll leave you guys with this. Everything you do, think about doing it not for the team that you have right now, not for the organization you have right now, not for the client base you have right now. Everything you're doing, think about how can I do this to be able to support my next team, my next marketing plan level, my next pin, my next level of how big my organization is. Like, you guys might have a customer base of 20 people, but think about how can I support 100 customers? Let me lay the groundwork for that. How can I support a distributor base of 100 people? Let me lay the groundwork for that. And when that is built, when that piece of it is laid out, that's when you guys will be able to have it come in and stay and build more. Okay, so that's it for tonight's call, you guys. Have a strong week. Have a strong lean in towards the end of the month. And we'll be on Telegram with any questions and stuff you guys have. Thank you, Sean, KB, Mike, everybody else who helped tonight. Love you guys. See you guys next week.